Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and today we are going to answer the question, how can you live a more vibrant life? We are going to touch on where in your life you are feeling dull or lackluster, and how can you shift into a more vibrant, alive way of being. I am also going to be including an extended energy healing session with each group. Tapping into these energy healing sessions is like gaining access to a magical cup that you can dip into an infinite spring of healing water and take a sip of as many times as you like. You can download the video and listen to or watch the recording as often as you need a little pick-me-up or a little boost. Once you have the energy healing session, it is infinite in nature, and you may receive it as many times as you need. So go ahead and choose from group number 1 with the mum, group number 2 with the lily, or group number 3 with the rose. Hello, beautiful human. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. You chose group number 2 with the chrysanthemum. And chrysanthemums symbolize long life. They symbolize friendship and happiness. And they are very prevalent in Japan, which I just found out. I just Googled it. But yeah, so I actually want to read this little tidbit. It says from China, so they originally came from China, but it says from China, the chrysanthemum made its way over to Japan by Buddhist monks in AD 400. Soon after its introduction, the Japanese were so enamored by this beautiful flower that it was soon adopted as the emperor's crest and official seal. Kiku is the Japanese name for chrysanthemum, and every year there's a National Chrysanthemum Day, which is also referred to as the Festival of Happiness. So I love that, because if you look at most traditional meanings of, if you just look up chrysanthemum symbolism, there's a lot of religious symbolism. There's a lot of just kind of vague meanings, but I kind of love that. I love that they symbolize happiness, and they're so prevalent in Japan. So I don't know if Japan is an important place for you, or if any of you are traveling to Japan soon, but yeah, I just thought that was a really cool little fact about chrysanthemums in Japan. So yeah, that's a little bit about that. I'm going to, we'll set this over here. So today in this reading, we are asking the question, how can you live a more vibrant life? We are going to touch on where in your life you're feeling dull or lackluster, and how you can shift into a more vibrant and alive way of being. So this should be very interesting. I pulled a few tarot, I pulled a few oracle cards for you already. And your first one is, of course, this oracle card, which says pause, and each of these have little messages on the back. So I'm going to go ahead and read them. The first one says, if you're feeling unsure about a decision, there's probably a good reason. Take your time and think it through. There's no need to rush. Allow your heart's wisdom to guide you. If you feel pressure to act immediately, it's probably a sign that this isn't the right opportunity. Don't worry, because more opportunities will come along, and the right ones will fit like a gorgeous glove. All right. Your second oracle card from the Crazy Sexy Love Notes Oracle is your purpose. It says your purpose is joy. Has a little bunny rabbit on it, happy rabbit with a crown. And your message is, your purpose has nothing to do with how you make a living. That is your vocation, mission, or inspired passion. All worthy, but your purpose is much simpler and bigger. Your purpose is joy. It's about discovering, nurturing, and celebrating who you truly are, and knowing and loving yourself at the deepest level. Lovely. All right. And lastly, I pulled one fairy card from the Magical Messages let's see. Yeah, magical messages from the fairies oracle. This is going to be an overarching kind of theme. I only pulled one for these, and we have assertiveness. Stand up for your beliefs and only say yes if you really want to. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So I'm going to see if I'm getting anything from these few oracles, and then we will dig into the tarot. I'm getting a few nudges here. So when I see this and thinking about how you can live a more vibrant life, like with this assertiveness card, I'm getting this energy of someone who is kind of leaking, their energy is kind of leaking out because they're having a hard time not catering to other people, saying no to other people. They're living essentially putting other people's needs before their own. So that could be something you're doing, and your energy could be leaking out. And I feel like there's this message of your vibrancy and your aliveness is inside of yourself. And there might be a misperception of how you're going to feel more alive. Like maybe you think that your life lies in your service to other people, when your ultimate like pleasure and livelihood and experience of joy lies in pleasing yourself, in being there for yourself, supporting yourself, loving yourself, figuring out exactly who you are, what you love, where you want to be, where you want to go, what you want your life to feel like. Your ultimate freedom in your life and love in your life is going to be within yourself. And so I'm getting the sense that there is a bit of a leak in your energy field that's kind of dulling your senses a little bit, because of the way that you give yourself to others. There's an imbalance. There could be an imbalance there. So yeah, like with this, let's see, pause. It feels like there's a need to retreat, to pull your energy back to yourself. Yeah, and like this, your purpose is joy. I feel like there's a part of you that finds a lot of purpose in serving others and being there for others. But I feel like this reading is pulling us into the message that you, unless you're feeling joy and abundance in what you're doing, unless what you're doing is feeding your soul and lifting you up and empowering you, then what am I saying? Unless what you're doing, I think I'm wording it weird. Basically, you are meant to feel joy and empowerment and be fed by your purpose. Like when you're serving others, you're meant to feel fed by that. You're meant to feel energized by that. And if you're getting to the point where you're feeling drained by what you're giving to the people around you, then there's a problem. There's an imbalance. There's something that needs to be corrected. And we might start digging into the guilt that comes up during that transition where you're pulling your energy back, and some false beliefs around what other people will, how other people will see you, and how they'll respond to you if you start serving yourself first. There might be a little bit of an imbalance there. So I want to get into the tarot. We are doing the beautiful Tarot of Oneness today. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's my newest deck. I love it so much. And you'll see why. So beautiful. Okay. So how can group number 1, I keep wanting to call you group number 2 for some reason. So maybe you guys are interrelated, but alrighty, how can group number 1 feel more alive, feel more vibrant, tap into the color and the light of their life, tap into more energy in their life, more fun, That is what we're looking for today. How can we heal ourselves and get to that point where we can embrace more freedom and just more goodness and more sensual pleasures and just more pleasure in general? That's what we want. We want to know what we can do to get to that juicy place. Okay, so we've got the embodiment of swords, which is the King of Swords. Actually, I want to show you these cards. They're all really beautiful. Another reason why I picked these cards for today is because they're so vibrant and they feel like they have so much life to them. That's why I got them. They just feel alive. And then we've got the Knight of Swords, the action of swords. Interesting. All right. We've got, wow, swords. Crazy. Inspiration of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We got Synchronicity, which is an extra card in the deck, so it kind of has its own meaning. We got the Ace of Cups. The Four of Swords. And if these are coming out reversed, don't worry. I don't like to read them reversed because I like to see the imagery like for what it is. I feel like I can read the energy without it being in reverse. So I like to just keep it this way. It's just much more aesthetically pleasing for me. Okay, and then the Six of Swords. All right, yes, lots of swords energy. In fact, the swords energy is kind of like squaring this energy here. It's kind of holding the whoa, and then yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 7 I just pulled are swords cards. So air element, ideas, thoughts, detachment. We shall see what we get here. So okay, so I like how this Ace of Cups is here. So Ace of Cups is a new overflowing emotional reality. It is like, this is evoking this beautiful, like, okay, so I'm feeling that all this air energy around this Ace of Cups, because even with the synchronicity, it's not necessarily, I mean, we don't know if it's not a swords card, we don't know what the element is. It looks a little bit like air and fire element, if I were to guess. There is a feather in here. So, yeah, it feels like there's this watery, beautiful, new emotional beginning that's surrounded by all of this, this air element. Okay, so with the Ace of Cups in the center, and then all of this swords energy around it, I'm getting this sense that we need to clean up our like energetic clutter through meditation, through detachment, through solitude. And it's like this feeling of we need to, like, in order to access this beautiful well of emotional, there's a little dove in this pool of water that this cup of water that this little otter's holding, and it's almost like emotional peace. That's the goal. We want this deep well of peace within our emotions. So we want access to our emotions, but peace within that space. That just like a watery, flowing, blue, peaceful energy within our emotions. So it almost feels like that the thought energy is overtaking everything a little bit. And like almost like there's a barrier to your emotions because your thoughts are so loud, or the thoughts and opinions of other people are so loud. And it's getting in the way of you feeling like this is where you want to be. And yeah, it's getting in the way of you feeling at peace within your emotions. So I'm getting this feeling like maybe like you don't even know how you feel. Like I feel like you're thinking like I feel so inundated by thoughts. I feel so inundated by like fast movement, like rushing thoughts, like other people's viewpoints and opinions that I don't even know how I feel. I don't even know what I want. It's like I haven't accessed my truth and my desires of my hearts in so long. I feel so overwhelmed and inundated by the pressures of my life that I wouldn't even know where to begin. But I keep getting this feeling of like making this air element your friend, making this thought energy, using your brain and your mind in a way that helps you to create a reality where your emotions finally feel not only like safe to come to the surface, but they feel like there's room for them, you know? It feels like there is no room in your reality for you to tap into your heart space and you to tap into your emotions. Like you haven't given yourself the like energetic space and time that it would take, and energy and attention and love and care and, you know, like that kind of prodding into your heart and into your emotions. You're not like giving yourself that space to understand your emotional reality. So what definitely wants to come through, this emotional way of being, or like at least like taking your emotions into account in your day-to-day life, wants to come into being in your reality. Like you are overly, it just feels like an inundation of thought energy and rushy energy and just like the world kind of like whisking you around, and you kind of just going with it. And it's almost like a surrendering of your own will. It's like, you know what, this is what it is, and I'm just going to go with it, and I'm going to let the world kind of just like not push me around, but like just guide me around. Even when it feels uncomfortable, even when I don't get my needs met. That's the feeling. That's the vibe. I'm just letting this world push me around, and then I'm here in the middle with my emotions, and I'm hurting. Like I'm hurting because my needs aren't being met. If this is where you are, then this is your reading. So that's, you know, I guess where that kind of answers the question of, you know, where are you feeling dull? Where are you feeling lackluster? I think that answers it. It's like you're just feeling like your heart and your needs don't matter in the midst of everything. Okay, so how can we heal this? How can I mean, there's a lot about rest here. So we've got the Four of Swords, which is about rest. It's about taking some time for solitude, deep rest. The way I love this interpretation, because both of these these cards could talk about meditation, the King of Swords and the Four of Swords. So taking time out to basically, and I think the detachment element is here really strongly. So basically, you need to both be with and acknowledge all of like the whirlwind of energy that's around you and in your thoughts. All of everything that's kind of sweeping you up in its wake. And there's need to sit and be with that and detach from it, but just observe it. So, I mean, meditation, you know, or even like you don't have to sit and take a moment, but try and like pull your energy back and detach from everything and just be with it. And like even just living just check yourself maybe throughout the day. Take a moment and be like, okay, what's going on right now? Like, what energies are kind of taking over me? How do I feel about it? What attachments are on me from other people? What thought patterns? And, just look at like where your thoughts are going, where your energy is going, where it's being pulled and pushed and moved. Like, take time throughout the day to check in and just observe, detach, observe. Okay, this is what's going on. Got it. Just that is definitely that's going to be a pattern, like a habit that you could take on that would really gradually help you to like pull your energy back. Just observance of it, observance of it with compassion, with love, with, understanding and acceptance. Like, yep, this is the reality, but, and we can shift it. But I mean, like, the first step is just recognizing it and observing it. So that's like step number one. And then, this reminds me, like, the Six of Swords is a journey into a new destination, into a new way of being. It's leaving behind a harsh way of living, leaving behind something that no longer serves, moving into a new reality. And so this is kind of like, if you take that step where you start detaching and just observing what's going on in your thoughts and in the world around you, this is going to like right the ship of your soul. Like, I feel like this is going to like steer you in the right direction, and then it's going to help move you into this new way of being that's going to be a lot more healthy for you. Like, because right now the issue, like, you don't have access to your heart. Like, you do. Like, I'm not saying you don't have access to your heart, but it's hard. It's like hard to have access to your heart and your own emotions when everything around you is like overtaking you. So doing that, checking in, observing, being with it without resistance. I think that's a big one. Like, don't resist what's going on. Like, this is the reality. You have been overtaken by this person's energy and this person's energy and what this person wants and what this person expects of you. Like, that's the reality of the situation. So if there's any resistance to it, that's just going to like further embed it into your being. If you're like fighting it, I think just accepting and being with it, being okay with it, like as it is, because the fact of the matter is that it is. It just is. This is where you're at right now. And that's kind of just waking up to what it is, and then trusting your soul's ship to ride itself in the right direction. Just trusting, observing, detaching, and like the synchronicity. Like, I just feel like everything will start filling in the blanks from there. Things will start balancing, redirecting. Like, you'll start getting like these aha moments, like these clarity moments of like, oh my God, why am I doing that? Like, that's not serving me or the person. Like, it's like, I feel like there's some like inner deception going on that's like, you think what you're doing is helping the other person and fulfilling their needs, but like when you scale out and you're able to like detach, you can see it for what it is and realize like you're not only not serving yourself and hurting yourself or hindering yourself, you're doing that to the other person. Like, you're hindering their growth, you're hindering their expansion, or like, it's not good for anyone. It almost feels there's a little like codependent like energy coming through, but take that if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. So I think, so the Page of Swords, like, I feel like there's a whole new way of being calling you into it that holds space for where you're at, holds space for the heaviness of your life, but also lightens the load a little bit. Like, I feel like there's a way for everything to work together in a more harmonious way, to where there's less resistance to it, there's more flow with it, there's more acceptance of it. Like, whatever's going on in your life that's heavy, overwhelming, that's one of those things that's like, well, this is how it is right now, and there's nothing I can do to change it. But I can change how I relate to it. I can change how I flow with it and how I feel within it. And I have the power, like I'm not stuck. I'm not imprisoned by anything. You know, I have the power to free myself within it. There's something there about like this new kind of way of being that's going to free you in so many ways. I don't know how to put that into words. I hope I just put it into words well enough, but yeah, I love this like bird flying out of the box. It's like, I don't have to be stuck in this box. Like, yeah, I can't control these outer circumstances, but I don't have to be stuck in my feelings of entrapment within them. Like, I can feel free within this circumstance. I can know that this circumstance is temporary. Like with the Six of Swords, this is all about temporary circumstances. You are moving into the new way of being. So, yeah, that is pretty awesome. Like, I like to give people, like I say, you know, throughout the day, take time to just observe what's going on, even if it sucks, and be okay with it in the moment. Just be like, okay, this is where I'm at. I can be okay with it. This is how I free myself. Just accepting it and being like, okay, this is the place I've gotten myself to. I'm going to learn to be okay with it. So the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is just like about bold action taking. I like this. This card's interesting. It's got this, it's like all foggy. It's like focus. Focus on, the Knight of Swords is the fastest knight. And there's like some sort of, it gives me this feeling of like there's a goal, or there's a goal in mind, there's a destination in mind. But it almost feels like a little imbalanced. It's like, okay, well, when I get to this destination or this goal, I will be happy. So until I get to that point, I'm going to be so like, it's like there's this energy of being so resistant to the current circumstances you're in, and you thinking like, once I'm in this next phase, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to feel okay. And I can finally rest, and I can finally tend to my soul, tend to my emotions. And I kind of feel like that's not the way to look at it. Because I think what you're in is a habit of resistance to your current circumstances. And no matter, even if your circumstances change, that habit, while it will get better and will like, if your circumstances change, you will feel better, but that habit will still be like cycling through your being. So the way to truly move out of it, and when you get to this destination, this place that your goal, your focus, your main focus, when you get there, if you start this detachment now and start this observance now and this acceptance, and this acceptance of the temporary nature of it, and like, it's like somehow it's like the goal for you is to accept where you're at right now, no matter how heavy it is. Okay, so camera battery died, but we are good. One of these days I will have a better camera. Oh my god, I just realized, I wonder if there's a way to like get a plug-in for it. Anyway, so as I was saying, your goal is to tap into a level of tolerance and acceptance for where you're at, because it feels like with this goal, this end vision in sight, that you're like, oh, like when I get there, I'll feel better. And I don't know if I mentioned this before the camera died, so I'm going to say it again. But yeah, it feels like you keep thinking like, when I get there, I will feel better. But that is going to get you into the pattern of you're still going to be in a pattern of resisting your current circumstances. So even when you get there, your mind and body are still going to be in that energetic state. So this reading, and like your guides, your angels, whatever you believe in, this reading, I like to say this reading because it just kind of encompasses everything. But it's telling you, like, you have power. You can break out of your circumstance. Like, here's the thing. There are some things about your circumstances that you may not be able to change, but you can break out and see things from a higher vantage point. You have power within your circumstances right now. You have power to shift the way you relate to your environment, to the people around you. You have power to detach and to observe things in a different way. Also, I feel like so it feels like you're in a very huge transition in your life that is very difficult, that is a little overwhelming, that is scary, that is hard, like emotionally just difficult. And I feel like if you can take a minute every day to detach, eventually like these insights, these epiphanies will start hitting you, and you'll start being able to understand and see from a higher vantage point where you're at on your journey. And that will help you to realize that you're in a really sacred transition in your life, moving from one phase to the next. And I feel like we humans in those transitions tend to resist it while we're in it. It tends to be very difficult, and I feel like there's opportunity for you to like breathe throughout it and honor yourself throughout it and honor the reality of it and what it is. You're going through a massive change, so but there's something inside of you that stays the same. Like your core essence is still who you are. It's just you may be going through like a shedding of what no longer serves. And it's just all like this, like it feels foggy, it feels overwhelming, it feels like all the energies around you are swirling. And where you're going to find your balance is like in your heart center. And tending to your heart center, tending to the needs of your emotional reality. So yeah, meditation, detachment, taking moments for yourself here and there, honoring the sacredness of your transition, all of it. Like, because what I see here in the middle of all this, like if we take away all of this air element, is this beautiful, watery, sacred being underneath it all. Just living in peace, just floating here, feeling good, feeling peaceful. I mean, that's the best way to put it. Like your emotions are at peace. This is an opportunity for you right now. This is real. You can have this. You can be at peace within like the wellspring of your heart, within the like quiet, still pond of your heart. You can find that within, in the middle of this transition. And it's easily, not, I guess easily maybe, but it is, if you give yourself that time and space, like it will easily and effortlessly emerge, and you will feel it, and you will know it, and you will know all of this external crap is temporary, and your stillness and your love, the unconditional love you feel within for the people around you, for your life, for the world around you, it's always accessible, always here, never changing, always still, always quiet. Yeah, beautiful. So yes, so the question is, how can you live a more vibrant life? And it is honor the sacredness and the beauty of who you are deep down, the love you hold, the peace that can be found deep in the well of your heart. honor that in the middle of this transition. Take moments out of your life, take walks outside in nature on your own, by yourself. Take those moments for yourself to find that peace and stillness and recognize that this is temporary and that soon you will be able to exist in the vibrancy and the love and the freedom that you've cultivated. You'll be able to find peace. I mean, now you can find peace now in the knowing that this is where you're headed. And not only is this where you're headed, but you're in a sacred moment right here, right now. Find those sacred moments amidst all the energy around you. Let those be your anchor. All right. Yes, I think that is going to conclude our reading. Thank you so much for being here. This was really beautiful. We are going to move into the energy healing now. So I'm really happy to do this for you. My intentions for this energy healing is to create this, just clear away all the clutter around you and create a sacred, safe place for you, your emotions, the soft, loving, unconditionally loving emotions, the still pond of your soul. Like, I just want to help you tap into that. So that is what we're going to do in the energy healing session. So I will put a link down below if you'd like to participate in that. If you're leaving me here, thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful for your freaking presence. This has been amazing. I'm going to put a link down below to my other YouTube channel. It's called Soul Hearken. It is my heart and soul in video form. There will also be a link to all of my other energy healing sessions. So if you want to check those out and feel called to experience any of them, they will be there for you as well. So thank you so much. Appreciate your presence. Bye. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and today we are answering the question, how can you live a more vibrant life? We are going to touch on where in your life you're feeling dull and lackluster, and how can you shift into a more vibrant, alive way of being. You have chosen group number 2, which is the lily. I couldn't figure out what kind of lily this was because every time I use this app called Picture This, and you take a picture of a plant and it'll tell you what it is. But it kept giving me different answers, but we do know for a fact that this is a lily. It is not fully bloomed yet, and we'll see if maybe I will stick it in some water and see if it'll bloom for me. But yeah, so the lily typically it represents femininity, rebirth, fertility. But there was something I found on funnyhowflowersdothat.co.uk. And I want to read it because I just think it's interesting to look at the history of the symbolism of the flowers. So the shape and variety of colors and the sweet scent of the fragrant varieties make some species of lily the ideal symbol of femininity. This symbolism dates back hundreds of years, originating with ancient Egypt. Greek and Roman brides were often given a garland of lilies to wear in their hair, signifying the promise of a pure and fruitful life. And then fast forward to the Victorian era, where emotions in all their raw fullness were frowned upon. As a solution to the problem of self-expression, a secret language of flowers called floriography was developed. The Victorians gave a meaning to every flower so that they could communicate their feelings with a bouquet. The lily was no exception. The Romans had used lilies to fill pillows and quilts because of its lovely scent, making the fragrance synonymous with lovemaking. Taking their cue from the ancients, they decided that if a lady was given a lily, she would know it was from her lover. I just thought that was a cute little fact. And I also think it's interesting. You got this confidence card for your first oracle card. And I think this is interesting that it's closed up and it's not yet in bloom. So maybe that's symbolic for the phase that you're in right now. And maybe you're moving into more confidence. So we'll get into the cards and we'll see where we're at with everything. So where am I gonna put this? Big old flower. Yeah, we'll put it right there. All right, so I pulled a couple of oracle cards before we started. And your first one, as I said, is confidence. So beautiful card. I got these from the Crazy Sexy Love Notes by Chris Carr. Each of them have a little message on the back, so I'm going to go ahead and read those. All right, so it takes courage to put your butt on the line and go for it. And the best way to strengthen your confidence is to put yourself out there. Who cares what other people think? Everybody starts somewhere. And don't worry about making mistakes. You can always course correct. But you'll never know or grow unless you try. And the more you do, the more confident and successful you'll become. When you shine, we are all inspired to do the same. Beautiful. All right, your next oracle card is this beautiful, I couldn't think of the word unicorn for some reason. Unicorn with believe. And the message on the back is, there's magic all around you. Open up to the wonders of the universe. Notice the connections and synchronicities. Follow your feelings and believe with all your heart. We successfully manifest our dreams when our feelings are in alignment with our plans. From that sacred union, the right ideas take shape, the best relationships blossom, and the stuff that's meant to be easily falls into place. Everything is possible. Awesome. All right. So confidence and believe. I'm getting this like really expansive energy of like, we're charging forward into the creation, the manifestation of the life we want, of the way we want to feel. Like I feel this beautiful expansive energy, and I'm like super here for it, and I'm super excited for this reading. All right, so I pulled one card from the Magical Messages from the Fairies Oracle. You got children. Your connection with children is part of your life's purpose. Aw. Alrighty. That really is giving me this vibe of like nurturing your inner child, just with all this beautiful energy here. Like nurturing your inner child, believing in miracles, believing in the seemingly impossible. And then I love how there's this butterfly. She has butterfly wings, and I feel like there is this, like you're on the brink of an expansion and a rebirth. And this was very much about, like, there was a lot of symbolism for rebirth in the lily. So cool. I'm excited. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and actually start pulling the tarot. We're pulling from this beautiful deck, The Tarot of Oneness by Robin Voisey. Anyway, it's a really beautiful tarot deck. I got it off Etsy. If you want to check it out and find it, it's seriously gorgeous, and you will see. Alrighty. Oops. I'll put this down here. Get this out of the way. Okay. Here we go. All right, how can group number 2 live a more vibrant life? Where are they feeling dull, lackluster? Where can they improve? Where can they shift their energy? How can we feel vibrant? Because I'm feeling this feeling of like future dreams, like moving into this new place in your future, seeing a vision on the horizon. And I almost want to like pull it in and be like, how can we find a sense of love and expression and vibrancy like right now in the midst of the creation of these dreams? All right. Okay, I feel like that one wants to come out. Yes. All right. Oop, yep, okay. All right. Here we go. Yes. Ha ha ha. I love how I have so much space today. I scaled the camera out much further than I usually do, and I don't know why I don't normally do that. I was like, oh, I can pull more cards. Okay, so First, we have the Three of Wands. Yes, that is obviously what, that is this energy, expansion, growth, like moving from that like planning phase into that like, I don't know, like things unfolding. And yeah, so holy moly, the Tower. Interesting. I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't expect the Tower. So a lot of times the Tower is associated with like the negative, like things falling apart, unexpected upheaval, unexpected change. But I'm getting the feeling that in this case, it's actually a positive thing. Like there might be some unexpected events that kind of like throw a little bit of a wrench in like your plan. But ultimately it's pushing you into like your soul's purpose and your soul's most highest sense, like experience of pleasure and joy. So, okay. And then we have, oh, yes, the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Moon, the Ace of Wands, the Five of Swords, all right, and the Four of Wands. Okay. Alrighty. So, okay, so, how can group 2 find more vibrancy and more liveliness in their reality, more color, more light? I'm pulled to the Moon card because, you know, most of this, it's interesting. There is a very high contrast, or just contrast. There are like two contrasting energies, it feels like. So there's this beautiful light and this beautiful vision that you have for your future, and this expansiveness and this sense of freedom and this moving into your purpose and your passion and the love and like what the universe is offering to you, like your highest life's purpose and path, like with this Ten of Pentacles, this long-term, stable, grounded, like legacy that you're building. Yeah. And then there's a little bit of sharpness, like with the Five of Swords. This is about, conflict. This is about, I would say, like conflict in relationships, negativity. I love this deck because this, for me, the Five of Swords represents the phrase, like, there are no winners in war. So it's kind of like feeling like if anybody's felt like they've won something in a fight or in an argument, no one has, because at the end of the day, there was no resolution. There, like, both parties weren't acting on love. Like, someone might win like an egotistical argument, quote, win, but nobody won. Ultimately, no one's soul won. So, I mean, yeah, that's what this card is, a really good depiction of that. It's like this barren landscape with this award trophy thing. That's kind of like, yeah, you might have won that, but look at where you're at, you know? So that's interesting. Maybe there's an influence in your life that, And then the Moon is about hidden fears, your subconscious, unearthing what's hidden in your subconscious. It could be, okay. I'm getting this sense that you are moving, like, okay, you have this vision, right? You have this vision of where you're going. You're confident in your vision. You believe in your vision. You feel an inner knowing that you are worthy of so much good. You are worthy of the embodiment and experience of all of your heart's desires, your heart's dreams, the connections you want to experience in this life, the travel, the whatever it is, whatever big dreams you have, It's like this sense of like, I know I'm worthy of them and I'm going to walk towards them. And it feels like you are definitely walking into that phase of your life. You're walking into all of your heart's desires becoming manifest. But it's not going to unfold the way you think it's going to unfold. Like with this Tower card, like the two major arcanas we have are the Tower and the Moon. Oh, interesting. If you put those together. Sorry, bear with me as I dig a little deeper here. I'm getting this feeling like, so yeah, some of your vision for what you have, there might be a little bit of a cling to it. It's like an image, like you have an image in your mind of where you're going, what you want, what it's going to look like. Like you've got this like specific, journey in front of you, or this place, like you have specifics in your mind and you have this envisionment of them. And the way they end up coming into your life, like they're not going to come to you in that way, in the way you've envisioned them. They're going to be much more like they're just going to be deeper than that. They're going to be deeper than like, oh, like I have this dream. Like I'm just taking it, like, for instance, in my case, like I feel like I'm being called to go to Bali. That's the next place I'm going to travel. I don't know how it's going to happen, like financially, everything. I just know, and I have this envisionment. I know that I'm going to go to Bali. Like it feels like God's going to guide me there. But it's like almost like this sense of like, and I'm like, oh, that'll be cool. And I've looked at the map of Bali and I looked at places to stay and things to do in Bali. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. And it's still just this fake image, because I don't know what it's going to feel like when I get there. But what I can do that's a lot more potent as far as manifesting myself getting there is I can co-create with God, with the universe, because God knows what it's going to feel like for me to get there. God knows what it feels like in Bali. Like I'm sure the energy there is amazing. But I've never been there, so I don't know what it feels like. So it's almost like, yeah, you can envision it, but that's not the most potent form of manifestation. The most potent form of manifestation is truly feeling it. And the only way you can truly feel it, of like how it's going to feel when you get there, what it's meant to feel like when you get there. And by saying this, I'm also recognizing that the actual embodiment of it and when you get there is going to be like a million times better. Just because otherwise, that's boring. You still want to be surprised. But anyway, I digress. Like the message that I'm trying to portray here is the best way to manifest it is to feel with God, with the universe, tap in and say, God, what is it going to feel like when I'm in that space? What is the best, like, best for me? How will I feel when I'm in a healthy, committed partnership with the person of my dreams? How will it feel when I'm in Bali, or when I'm in Japan, or when I'm in, when I've moved to my new home, or whatever it is that you're envisioning? How will that feel? And getting into those feelings and those vibes and really just like embracing that, like, oh wow, like, yes, I really want that. That's like, that is like attracts like I watched this Instagram reel and they were, so there was, I don't even know how to, like, they were using like tuning forks. And so there was like one tuning fork like hanging from the string thing. And then there was another tuning fork that was not the same frequency. And they like hit that tuning fork, and then the tuning fork hanging there did nothing. And then they took one that was the same frequency of the tuning fork that was hanging there. And then they hit that, and it like moved the frequency of the hanging tuning fork. So it was really like a scientific, like just observable understanding of what manifestation is like attracts like. So, or like affects like attracts like. And so getting in that vibration and that feeling and letting God guide you. Because sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know what it'll feel like. Like, I don't know. Like, I think a lot of us know that part of the manifestation process is to get into the emotion of it and the feeling of it and to amplify that inside of ourselves. But it's like, oh, like, what if I don't know what that feels like? I've never experienced it before. But I think if you co-create with the universe, co-create with God, like it will guide you into what that is supposed to feel like to the best of like your ability to experience it. So yeah, so there's this like your vision of what it's going to look like is not, it's like that's going to disappear eventually, because the reality of it is so much different. And thank God it's so much different, because a vision is boring. It's just an image, you know. It's like 2D. It's nothing, you know. But a feeling, a vibration, an experience, that's life. That's what life feels like, you know. So yeah, that is, I guess that's answering the question, like, how can you live a more vibrant life? Like, as far as it's saying, since you are in this manifestation process, there's a deeper way to continue manifesting it. And that is through your emotions, through your body, through your soul, like through your co-creation with God, and through the, like, bringing your energy into that signature of what it is, so that you can move yourself into that in the physical world. It will naturally flow together. So yeah, I guess that's one answer. But yeah, what else? There's okay. So with the Ten of Pentacles, I mean, it's amazing that you've gotten this. I'm getting this feeling like what you're doing right now is like laying one of the, like, the ground stones of the foundation of your life. And if you are at all in any way discounting the steps you are taking in your life right now, don't do that, because this is actually, like, you are building you're building a new tower right now. This tower card, with its traditional meaning, it almost feels like you've come out of a phase here of like your old way of being, your old cycles. It's almost like they've already crumbled for the most part. And you've been slowly and surely, without even realizing it, because of all the, feels like with the moon, like all the inner work you've been doing, all this subconscious healing, like these two seem so interrelated. Like the subconscious structures that held together your old reality are literally like, they're just falling apart and they're crumbling, and you're building a new tower, you know, not even a tower. Like, I don't even know if I want to call it a tower. It's just a foundation for your long-term sense of security in this world, sense of power in the material world, sense of purpose, sense of like a rootedness, like I already said, security. It's what you're building is just this long-term stable security and capability of creating the circumstances in your life that make you feel the most safe and that make you feel the most grounded, and that give you that feeling of safety, so that when you do do the more risky things in your life, you're doing it from a place where you have this like grounded stability within it. So that's what you're building right now. And it's so watery. Like, I know there are like no cups cards here, but the energy is almost a little watery. So forgive me if I'm not expressing it or articulating it very well. But I guess the moon is basically a watery card. But yeah, you're completely rerouting your entire subconscious to experience more pleasure, to experience more love, to feel like truly safe. Yeah, good job. You're doing awesome. So there is something here, though. I feel like we need to touch on this Five of Swords, because all of the energy feels really good. Like even with this Four of Wands, like Four of Wands is about, it could be about, I like to think of it as like a pivotal moment in your life where you are celebrating with friends and family, and it's just full of love, and it's full of this feeling of security and connection and groundedness and safety and celebration. And what is this Five of Swords? It's like bugging me. I feel like all of this is definitely about, yes, creating your dreams and letting your old subconscious ways die out, and creating, you're building this cornerstone, or these foundational stones you're putting in place right now for your future. It feels like a warning almost. Like it feels like there's something that, I don't want to be scary, like, oh, it's a warning. You must, you're going to get it. But it feels like, aw, that's interesting. It feels like this is something you're healing right now. So, and it has to do with like, okay, so it feels like you're moving from one like era of your life into another, and you're in the beginning of a new phase, right? So there's almost like this fear of conflict because you are expanding and moving into a new way of being. And it's almost like you fear, it's not a warning. Okay, I take the warning thought back completely. Not a warning. I think I got that energy because it was like, hey, you have to touch on this because this is really important in the creation of this new life. So I think in many ways, when you've moved on from old phases or moved on from one place to the next, I just think a lot of your previous transitions have included like discarding relationships that don't serve you, have been like letting people go that you didn't want to let go. You didn't want to let go of, but you needed to let go of. Being hurt by people or by environments that you once trusted. Just like this icky, it's like in the past you've experienced, like when you've grown into a more solid, stable version of yourself or an expanded version of yourself, you've experienced the people around you like being hateful towards that or being resentful towards that. And you've been hurt by people just by being you and just by expanding and growing. And you've been misunderstood. And it feels like, I really feel like this way of transiting from one phase to the next and having this be a part of it is like gonna fall away with this tower. This is a part of the tower that's falling away. Like, you don't need, it's not gonna be so intense. Like, you might experience like shadows of that energy, but it's not going to be like, you're protected, basically. You're protected from anyone who would want to cause you harm, who would want to hurt you. You're protected from anyone who would want to like hatefully like push you out of their life, or hatefully make you push them out. You know, like just these harsh energies, these harsh, like resentful, hateful, like whatever it is you've dealt with in the past with people when you've grown and expanded, like you're protected from that, and you're done with that, and you're not going to experience that anymore to the degree that you did before. Like, sometimes there are growing pains when you change, and like some of the people like they grow and learn how to adjust to your transition and adjust to the new you. And I think it's going to be like that. I think it's just going to be slow and steady, and people are adjusting to who you are and your boundaries, and people are willing to be respectful, because they love you, because they want to stay in your life, because they want to respect you. They want to like see you grow. And there might be a little bit of internal resistance, but that's natural. Because I feel like you are walking like with this unicorn. I feel like you are like doing something that, you know, in this children, like this inner child card, I just feel like you're following a dream that not many would follow, and that in the beginning people might misunderstand. They're just not used to seeing someone going after their dreams like this, you know. But I just feel like I'm getting this vibe that most of the people in your life right now are gonna support you in this. And if there's a little bit of that resistance or negative energy from the shift, it will dissipate quickly, and just give people the benefit of the doubt. Have grace for people to adjust to your growth and to your expansion, and just trust that you are safe and you are protected from any like heavy or hateful energy. That's not a part of your life anymore. It's fallen. It's gone. It's fallen, and it's burnt up, and it's gone with that tower that has already fallen. I feel like that tower is pretty much gone. Like this was your old phase. Yeah, I feel like it's mostly gone. If there's anything left that's dying out, it's just like little remnants of like neural pathways, like with this moon, like of your subconscious. You're like clearing away a few more things, just clearing it out, so you can grow and be this amazing, expanded, feeling safe in your vulnerability and your innocence. Did I already say that? There was a lot. I think I already did say that. There was a lot about innocence with the lily as well. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, okay. So, all right. So, I mean, if we're answering, I'm going to see if we can answer those questions. So like, where is group number 2 possibly feeling a little dull? I think it's not about feeling dull. I think there's just like a little bit of worry and concern and fear because of your past. And that's what we're touching on. So, I mean, but the question, how can you feel more vibrant? How can you feel more alive? How can you live a more vibrant life? I think this is really just a confirmation reading, because I feel like you're doing an amazing job. I think one thing I would say is that, well, first of all, you're heading in the right direction. I feel like the ship of your soul is being steered by like a higher power, and you can't go wrong. And I feel like one thing I would say is, don't discount the power of clearing out these subconscious beliefs that are like some of the lingering subconscious beliefs that hold you in past cycles. It almost feels like there's a hesitance to confront them or exist in the discomfort that they kind of bring about. But I think there's an encouragement here to keep going. And when those, like that little bit of shadow work comes up to be done, that subconscious healing, like we're still clearing away a few things. We're still not 100% in the embodiment of this new phase. There's still a little bit there. And if there's any fear around that, that's okay. That's okay. That's normal. Just observe the fear. I mean, that's part of the old paradigm, right? That's part of the old neural pathways. So just let the fear pass through and just keep moving forward and keep embodying your truth. And it's almost like, yes, I sense this, it's like you are doing a great job of embodying into the, like this pleasurable reality in this new phase of your life. But with that, of course, comes like that, like a lot of people experience this, that foreboding joy. It's like, oh my God, I'm starting to feel really good. I'm starting to sense like where I'm going on this path. And not only am I feeling good about my future, I'm feeling good about my present and like how I'm getting there and enjoying how I'm getting there. It's like, you know, that foreboding joy sometimes can like come up and it's like, oh my God, and like, am I okay? Am I safe to feel this way? Is there going to be anything like crawling out of the, you know, like anything like coming out of the woodwork to like, you know, abruptly, like, I don't know. It's just that sense of like, am I safe to feel safe? Am I safe to feel joy? Am I safe to feel pleasure? And the answer is yes. Yes, you absolutely are. And just because you get that fear and you get that negative energy sometimes, or those old cycles like kind of like peek in, it's like, no, that's normal. Let that be. And eventually it's all going to cycle out. And the joy and the good and the like power and the new way of being is going to be like most of your everyday waking like reality. And, you know, not to say that your life will be perfect after that, because we are human and we're always on a journey and we're always healing and we're always growing. But we also deserve phases of peace and joy and expansion that are free of worry, that are free of fear. And you are entering into that. So let yourself continue to learn how to embrace joy and embrace love and embrace pleasure. And yeah, so good things are coming. I like how this is, let's see, so the Ace of Wands is just about taking action and heading in that. And this is just what this is about. I just feel like everything you're doing in your life is co-creating with the divine to move you in the right direction. So you're doing it. You're doing amazing. Don't worry if these little fears come up. That they're only coming up because it's just like this crumbling. And it's bookended here with the Ten of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, which are extremely happy cards. They're about like just your dreams coming true. And not only that, they're about like stability and security in those dreams, and them being stable, and them being here to stay. So yes, like, have confidence in your vision, have confidence in the joy that wants to permeate your being, and trust in it, because you deserve it. And all the work you've done to clear away old fears and old ways of being, you'll see it's all going to be worth it. And you're going to be able to stand in your power, in your purity, in your innocence, in your love. You're going to be able to stand there in your rawness, in your authenticity, in your goodness, and your environment is finally going to reflect it all. And you're going to feel safe there, rooted there, healed there, free there. So yes, this was your reading. Thank you so much. This was really beautiful and light and fun and empowering. And Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. We are going to move into the energy healing now. So what I want to do with this energy healing is I want to further deepen you into this feeling of safety and joy and in love and in pleasure. So yeah, so it's just going to be this extra deepening. You don't even need a oomph because I feel like that's what you are right now. But your energy is just super powerful. But I want to help you root it down deep into your core, this sense of safety in your pleasure, and in your purpose and in your path. So that's, I think root chakra work. So I call these energy healing sessions the infinite prayer. They are like gaining access to this beautiful golden cup that you can dip into an infinite wellspring of healing waters that is yours to keep forever, because you can download the video and you can experience the energy healing session as often as you want. So I will put a link down below for that if you want to experience that. There will also be another link to all the rest of my energy healing sessions. They all coordinate with a reading here on YouTube, but I feel like they are infinite in nature, so one of them might pull you in or grab your attention. So that will be down there as well. I also want to tell you about my other channel. It is called Soul Hearken. It is my heart and soul in video form. There will be a link to that down below as well. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your presence. I hope nothing but the best for you. And keep going. You're doing amazing. And I can't wait to, I'm just happy for you, because I know you're walking into true freedom in your joy. So yes, thank you so much. Bye. Hello, lovely humans. Welcome to Little Flower Tarot, your floral oracle. My name is Krista, and today we're going to answer the question, ask and answer the question, how can you live a more vibrant life? And we're going to tap in on where in your life you're feeling dull or lackluster, and how you can shift into a more vibrant, alive way of being. So you guys chose group number 3 with this beautiful fuchsia pinkish rose. As we all know, the rose represents love. And for me personally, I don't know why, but this beautiful, vibrant, fuchsia pink love especially represents self-love. And it just gives me this sense and this feeling of just being your full self, being your expressive, full rooted, beautiful, vibrant self. And that's perfect, because I guess, the question we're asking is, how can you live a more vibrant life? And so far, you've picked a really vibrant, beautiful flower. That's just symbolic of self-love. So, okay, so we will put this little guy over here, and I pulled a couple of oracle cards for you. And the first one says breathe deeply. So quite gorgeous. Each one has a message on the back that I would like to read. And this message is: breathe big, let it all in, expand your fabulous belly. Who cares if your jeans feel too tight? Here's an idea. Buy a roomier pair. Deep, full breaths invigorate you. They release sadness and allow ecstasy to flood in. Pause. Inhale a long, slow, big, delicious breath. Exhale. Remember, whenever the going gets tough, take a deep breath and trust that you are capable of greatness. That was juicy. That was a juicy message. So I was like, yeah. And then your next oracle card is decide. Okay. All right, let's read this message. It's time to make a decision. Being on the fence drains your energy. No matter what you choose, it will be the exact right thing for your spiritual path. Channel your energy. Be decisive. Learn, grow, decide. All right. That's kind of definitely, they go together. It's like take a deep breath, concentrate your energy, and make a decision. Take a step, move forward. So this is beautiful so far. I'm excited. And like this color of this is so bold, and I just feel like you're being called into a boldness, a decisiveness. So I pulled one more card, and it is a card from, well, those cards were from Crazy Sexy Love Notes by Chris Carr. This one is from the Magical Messages from the Fairies Oracle deck, and you got business venture. Interesting. Trust and follow through on a new business idea or career opportunity. All right. Well, okay, sweet. Let's do this. Okay. This is like, I picked this to be an overarching theme too. So maybe, yeah, it looks like career transition. This might have to do with your financial reality, your sense of abundance. So cool. I'm going to go ahead and get into the tarot. So we're pulling from the Tarot of Oneness today. Love this deck. Super beautiful. You will see it's so vibrant and amazing and alive feeling, and that's why I chose it for this particular reading. Yeah, got it off Etsy if you want to go look for it. So, alrighty. How can group number 3 find more vibrancy, more just beauty and love and ecstasy and color? Yes. Alrighty. So let's... Whew. All right. I'm just like excited. I feel excited. Like some sort of big change I feel like it's about to happen in your life that you're going to be really stoked about. Okay. Alrighty. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. This is like everything's, yeah, cohesive so far. So the Emperor definitely goes with this decide card, like very strategic, powerful, structured, very decisive energy so far. The Four of Pentacles, same thing, like very structured, solid. Yeah, we'll keep going and we'll see what. The Knight of Pentacles. Oh, and the Knight of Swords. The Ten of Swords, okay. The Two of Pentacles. And the Five of Wands. Okay. All right, I might pull more in a little bit. Like the bottom of the deck has the Four of Wands. I think I am going to pull the Four of Wands. Okay, I'm just, a lot of cards want to come out, so this might just be one of those readings where I just keep pulling cards. But for now, I don't want to be too overwhelmed, so here we go. Okay, so there's a lot of masculine energy in this reading. It feels like a lot of structured masculine energy. Okay. Especially with this decisive, this decide, and okay. So there might be a lot of masculine leaning people watching this reading actually, or people who are embracing their masculine energy. Like everything's just giving this like manly, like masculine, not like manly necessarily, but just masculine vibe. Like this was reminding me of like a boutonniere attached to a suit. Okay, so I definitely will be pulling more cards because I think this is just the first half of the reading. Like right now I'm tapping into this very grounded, almost too grounded masculine energy. Like with the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles sometimes represents clinging too tightly to what you have. And I'm getting like with this Four of Wands, there is a vision and a dream that you are after. like just, it's like you're reaching for something more than what you have or what you've experienced. And the Four of Wands is sometimes can represent like a marriage. It typically represents, I think to me it represents dreams coming true, a marriage, a happy home life, a grounded, safe feeling in your home life. Yeah, just like a dream home life, just being and celebrating that. That's what that represents to me. And it's almost like, I see a lot of, it's almost like I sense that there is quite a bit of conflict between what you want and your current reality, and a resistance to shifting into who you need to be and what you need to do to take steps into who you want to be, where you want to go, like you want more. Like you've gotten yourself to this safe point in your life. You've gotten yourself to this secure, stable point. And with the Four of Pentacles, it just feels like you're kind of scared to move. Like the Four of Pentacles, the energy of that is very like static and like immovable, almost immovable. Like 4 is a very structured, it's the most structured number, the most grounded number, and then Pentacles is the most grounded suit. And so it is basically the most like static card of the entire deck. And I'm getting this very static, like, okay, we've gotten to this point. We've gotten ourselves to this sense of safety, the sense of security that feels more stable than we've had in the past. Feels like, I don't know, but it's almost like I'm bored. I'm here, but I want more. There's more out there for me. There's more expansion. There's more love. There's more freedom, that I want. And, yeah, it just feels like it's almost like you feel like there's this sense of impossibility for moving from this phase into a different one, because it's like you've gotten yourself to a point where you have security, but you also have lots of responsibility on your shoulders. And like this Two of Pentacles, it's like you have all of these things that you're juggling right now that you're finding it hard to break out of that, or like it's like you're finding it difficult to even think the thought of having enough time or energy to move into something new. Yeah, it's like with the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is about like conflict. If you can kind of tell with, it's like wolves fighting, but the Five of Wands, yeah, it's almost like everything around you would be fighting your ability to move forward. Man, yeah, there's so much stagnant energy here. Like just so much feeling like stuck in your current circumstances. It's like the actions you've taken up until this point have been mainly guided by a sense of wanting to secure something for yourself, wanting to feel secure, wanting to feel like you're doing what you're supposed to, you're living up to the expectations that the world has put on you, or your family has put on you, or just, your environment, the people, like what you think success looks like. It's like you have been making decisions from a place of, yeah, following like what traditional success looks like and wanting to create security for yourself and like social acceptance too, in a way. It's like just wanting to feel like you're doing what's best for yourself and for others and what's right and what's good, taking into account like social norms and the people you love's expectations. And yeah, like you've taken most of your as far as like your lifestyle, like the creation of your lifestyle, the creation of your life, of like the structure of your life and how like what supports you in your life. You do things kind of by the book. And there's like almost like a sense of sorrow. The Ten of Swords is about painful endings. And there's a sense of sorrow in knowing that all of the work, like if you do decide to shift something in your life, there's almost like a concern that like all the work you've put in up to this point meant nothing. Like if you're going to go after this Four of Wands, like go after a new reality, go after your dreams, what you really want. It's like you're going to have to like, it's going to be a hard ending. That's like at least the way you're perceiving it. So, wow. Yeah, it's kind of bummery energy, to be honest. It's a little bummery. I haven't gotten into these. The action, this is interesting. And same with the Emperor. We haven't touched on these yet. I feel like these are going to be like your saving grace energies. Like we've got the action of Pentacles and the action of Swords. So Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. And so the Knight of Pentacles is about like slow, steady progress towards your goals. One step at a time, building a legacy slowly, working towards something that's real and sustainable and good. And then the Knight of Swords is like kind of almost like, as far as the knights go, he's like the other end of the spectrum. He's about like charging forward at all costs, like taking care of action, like boldly going for what you want. So I almost wonder if like one of the answers, like both of these energies are needed for you to get out of this stagnant energy. And into like, I want to say like, you have a really strong ability to hold positive masculine energy. Whatever gender you are, like you have that ability to like healthfully hold a masculine energy within yourself that is balanced and grounded and stable. And the Emperor is this strong leader, this powerful like father figure. It's kind of like the energy I think that you would like to exist within. Feeling in control of your reality, feeling like a knowing of what you're doing, and where you're going. And with this, there's an Ankh here in the hand of this lion. And whoa, what is that? Hold on, let me see something. I'm just trying to figure out what this thing is. Yeah, I don't know. But so with the Ankh in his hand, and Ankhs are symbols of God, symbols of everlasting life, symbols of power. And so this emperor is led by his intuition, led by his connection to a higher power, and is trusting and faithful in that higher power. And so when there is an imbalance in this emperor energy, he's overly controlling, he lacks faith in that higher power, and he's like too clinging to the status quo. He's not adaptable and changeable. So I mean, I feel like right now you're kind of existing within a little bit of the imbalanced energy, where it's like you're trying to break out of that, and you want to be this more like trusting, powerful emperor that's still grounded and rooted and knowing what he's doing, knowing where he's going, but still doing it in like a safe and practical way that doesn't compromise everything he's built thus far, these feelings of security he's built thus far. So, right. So, I mean, this Knight of Pentacles, it's like you've mastered that energy, that slow and steady progress towards your goals, and you've gotten yourself to this point. It's almost like you wanted to create security, and you did, but like, you almost like lean too far into the sense of security that it's like gotten you to this place of boredom and of monotony and just feeling like everything is the same and you want something different and you don't know what that is, and you have more to offer, you have more to give, you have more to explore. There's just more for you. It's like, I want more, this Four of Wands. And reaching out, there's something more for me. So yeah, like this Knight of Swords, this action of swords, I feel like this, to me, this represents epiphany as well. Like the Knight of Swords is like vision and epiphany. It's like you've learned what you want, you've come to know what you want, and once you do find out what you want, there's no stopping you. Like, you're going to go for it. And you're going to employ all of the skill sets that you've learned up to this point. Everything you've used internally and you've built to get you to where you are, you're going to use to shift and to move into and build the pathway to where you want to be, to pivot your life in a way that there is a little bit of fear there. There is a little bit of unknown energy there, but that's the excitement of it. Like, I think you need that. So I'm curious about this, like, business venture, trust and follow through on a new business idea or career opportunity. So, I mean, this is a clear sign. I mean, this is literally this is like the overarching theme of the reading. So if you are thinking about building your own business, this is just a really good sign that, like, yes, it is time. Do this. Like, and I feel like with this Knight of Pentacles, the slow and steady progress, like, you know how to build something over time. Like, you've done it. So, like, it's almost like there's this impulsive feeling with this Knight of Swords. Like, it's funny because there are like pros and cons to both the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. But there's this impulsive feeling of like, I want to go for it and I want to change right now because I'm so sick of like this reality. But there's almost like this encouragement and like with the Two of Pentacles, it's about juggling responsibilities. There's almost there is this encouragement to use your skills of that slow and steady building. What am I saying? Just use what you know to be true, that you can slowly and steadily build what you want by putting in the work gradually. And that's enough. That's absolutely enough. And it's a big enough shift that it's going to take you out of that feeling of monotony and boredom. Like, you're going to start seeing like this new goal in mind, and it's going to be a part of your life. It's going to be slowly integrated into your life by taking these slow and steady actions towards it. That it's going to help you with that feeling of monotony and boredom. And while also you still get to feel secure. You still get to feel secure in the meantime. Yeah, so yeah, there is hope here, and there is I hate to, it's like there's hope. I know there's hope. I know you can do anything you want. I mean, I know anybody can do anything they want when they set their mind to it, and when they put their action towards it, and they take step towards something they want, and they see it as a good and noble pursuit. Like, anybody can do whatever they want, you know? You can build whatever you want. We all have gifts to offer the world. We all have the opportunity to go after what's going to truly fulfill our souls, and also find security within it, and allow ourselves to feel secure throughout the creation of it by allowing ourselves to slowly and steadily transition, as opposed to like all of a sudden doing this like scary thing. I mean, some people do that and it works out. So if you're one of those people who are like, no, I'm thinking about quitting my job and like starting something new, or saving a bunch of money and then quitting my job and then starting the new thing, and if that's your path and that's what you feel called to do, then that's what you feel called to do. But I really feel like I don't think that's the best path for the person watching this reading, because I'm really getting the sense that security, feelings of security and stability are extremely important to you. Like, definitely. Like, I don't think that shock to your nervous system is going to really help anything. If anything, that might be kind of destructive in a way, because if you fail, and I'm not saying you would fail, like some people totally like succeed in that type of situation, but I'm saying and not fail, I don't want to call it a failure, but like if like what you think is going to happen when you make that decision, like to quit your job or to do something drastic, to create something new, when that doesn't turn out the way you thought it would, you could be really hard on yourself about that. So I just really think like the slow and steady gradual shifting is what is best for the person watching this reading. Definitely. Yeah, it's like it's safer to do it that way, and it won't jar your nervous system and like totally like upend your world in a way that feels unstable and puts you in a place where you're not even inspired to, you don't feel safe enough and inspired enough to do this new, whatever this new venture is that you want, like that you want to create, this new project, this whatever it is. It's good to have a feeling of stability and safety and security when you are building something new from your inspiration, like from the dreams of your heart, these things that are like precious and brand new, and little babies that you're just now starting to cultivate. It's like you need that security. So keep your security, but maybe just lighten your load a little bit. Give yourself some energy and some space, and make a room for this new venture that you're wanting to set out on. And it doesn't have to be this horrible, painful ending, Ten of Swords things. Like, you didn't fail at anything. You're just shifting, you're pivoting, you're growing, you're awakening, you're learning what it is you truly want. So I think, take a deep breath. Like these two cards were perfect. This is what you need to do. Take a deep breath, a few deep breaths, a million deep breaths. Go for a walk. Go for a slow walk. Breathe. Tell yourself you're safe, you're secure, but yet you can do whatever it is you feel guided to do. And your life can change, and you can be the agent of that change. Take that deep breath, and then when this epiphany comes of what you want to do, when your goal is clear, I really want to show this. Okay. Oh, why isn't it showing it? So frustrating. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, whenever you're clear on what it is you want, and you feel that internal like, yes, like this is where I'm going. This is the seed that I want to plant. This is the inkling I want to follow, and then just decide, go for it. Take that first step. Be vulnerable. Feel a little nervous about something. Feel a little like fish out of watery about something. It's fun. It's good. It won't hurt you. It will only help you grow. It's okay to feel floofy. It's okay to feel a little floofy. You can still keep all the security you've built and slowly just, build this new thing. So, I don't know. Am I going to pull more cards? I feel like that's the message. Like I think I want to pull a couple more though, just for fun, because we need to lighten this up. Na, 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 na. Okay, so there's life force energy. Come on. Like, what the heck? Ten of Wands. It's like, okay, Ten of Wands it's like typically about like feeling burdened, feeling like this guy is like pulling this boulder up this hill, right? Look at that. That's gotta suck. I just feel like this Ten of Wands is telling me that you're carrying too much freaking weight, man. Like, I feel like you can let go of some of that weight. Some of that responsibility, I don't know what it is, but there's some shit you're carrying that's unnecessary weight. Like, what are you gonna do with that boulder when you get to the top? What's the point? You're gonna use that for anything. It's just gonna roll back down the hill, but when you get up there, and then you're just gonna have to get it, like pull it back up. But for what? For what? Let go of some responsibility and weight. Give yourself freedom and expansion. Like you can do it. You do have the space. I feel like the message is like, there's certain things that you're holding on to that you think are like, I don't know, like maybe you'd feel guilty if you let them go, or you'd let people down if you let them go. But I think you need to do what's best for yourself, and people will understand. I think you just need to give people the benefit of the doubt that they will understand your decision to let go of these responsibilities, and that you can't carry like other people's weight for them anymore. Yeah, there's something like that. You got to let it go, and you got to trust that like literally like this is to save your own life. Like this is to help you breathe. And if someone can't understand that and they can't carry their own weight, then whatever backlash or whatever, like let them have an emotional reaction to that. You have to take care of yourself. You have to free yourself. So yeah, okay. And then we got the life force energy card. And yeah, I think this is like about, going out in nature and just clearing your energy, like spending more time in nature, in solitude. Just let like the wind and the trees and the water and the birds and everything, like just let the beautiful, like sacred geometry of nature, like synthesize into your being and clear out all the bullshit, and just help you find like let it clear out so you can think clearly. And so that those epiphanies and those desires and things you really want can start to come to surface, and you can start figuring out how you can move into a life of more freedom and more purpose. Yeah. Nature. One more. All right. So we got the Spirit of Swords, which is the Queen of Swords. And I'm kind of in love with this because Queen is feminine energy. I mean, swords isn't the most feminine like suit, but the Queen is feminine. And there was so much heavy masculine, like weighted energy down here that it's nice to see this like beautiful, like feminine, airy, light energy coming forward. I think you have, I feel like there's a little bit of a thwarted sense of femininity within your being. And like there's a feminine side of you that wants to come through and wants to be expressed, wants to be witnessed, wants to be honored. The feminine is about flow, and sometimes it's about destruction and chaos and wildness and, but this in particular, so taking the feminine and combining it with the air element. The Queen of Swords is very much detached but compassionate. So this actually makes me think of the way that you are feeling. There might be some guilt with like holding other people accountable to hold their own weight, and let like that boulder that you're carrying. I feel like embodying this Queen of Swords energy is just being compassionate with yourself, loving towards yourself, yet being detached from the wants and needs and expectations of those around you, and severing those cords and those ties, but just being compassionate and loving first and foremost to yourself, but also to them. Because if something's draining you, if a interdependent or codependent reality, or if someone's dependent on you, if the way in which they're dependent on you is draining you and making you feel weighted and bad, then that's not good for them either. That's not good for their growth. That's not good for their ability to like take care of themselves. I don't know what the circumstances are, but I don't know if there's a way you can like delegate. I don't know. There might be like a delegation that needs to happen. Like you're taking on too much, being too controlling about something, and you can trust someone else to take care of something for you. If you have the funds to pay someone to take care of something for you, that might be a necessary part of this journey, like delegating out some of the weight you're carrying so that you can take the steps you want to take in your life to get you to where you want to be, to where you have way more freedom in the future. And possibly even more security. I mean, building a business, you have limitless expansion and limitless financial growth. So this could be taking you into more and more freedom financially and emotionally and spiritually and all the above. So have compassion for yourself, detach from the wants and needs of those around you, figure out what you need to do, let the epiphanies flow through, and then take one long, deep breath and decide. Act on it. Do it. Cut the cords. Make the decision. Be unapologetic about it, yet compassionate. And just do what you gotta do. People will adapt. So, okay. Alrighty. I think this is your reading. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your presence. I hope this was helpful. We are going to actually go into the infinite prayer now, the energy healing session. So for you, I just want to bring in like this lovely, compassionate, feminine energy to help you feel just like nurtured and honored and safe and grounded in a way that is not controlled. It just is, it's like effervescent love and lightness and a sense of worthiness. And I just want to bring this like lightness to your energy so you can learn that it's safe to take care of yourself first and foremost and what you need. And everyone around you will adapt to that, because what's healthy for you and what's good for you is what is good for everyone around you. So we're going to help pull you into that energy. So, alrighty. Thank you so much. We will move into that now if I'm leaving you here. Thank you so much for being here. I also want to tell you about my other YouTube channel. It's called Soul Hearken. It is my heart and soul in video form. I'll put a link down below for that. There will be a link down below for the energy healing session for group number 3. And There's also a link down below for all of the rest of my energy healing sessions as well. So if any of those call to you, they are there for you as well. So thank you so much. Bye.